Good evening, and thank you all for coming.
Well, nearly a decade has gone by since Leah Freeman disappeared and was later found dead.
It's 2008, and by now it's been 8 long years since the body of 15-year-old Leah Freeman was found near an old logging road outside of the town of Coquille, Oregon.
If anyone has a memory to share, please come up and do so.
It was a fog that kind of hung over the town for this entire time.
And this is all gonna get better. We're gonna get justice for Leah.
The community really wanted to know what happened. They wanted justice, they wanted answers, especially the victim's mom, Corey Courtwright.
I want justice. I want for whoever killed her to pay for it, because they've been walking free for years, and it's just wrong.
I said, we need to reopen this case. We need to solve this. And I said, I don't care where this leads. We need to find the truth.
So Coquille is looking for a new police chief, and one of those candidates comes from a desert town in Arizona, 1,400 miles away.
This blood in the trunk has become a reality game for us.
There's a new sheriff in town.
When I arrived in Coquille, one of the things that people kept addressing, whether I was talking to our law enforcement, sitting in a restaurant, getting a soda, everybody was talking about the Leah Freeman case. And one of the expectations as a new police chief was, what are you going to do about it, chief?
And I'll courtesy copy you too, so you're in the loop of that.
I think our community is so fortunate to have him.
You're all concerned?
A little bit.
He seems to just have his heart completely in this case, and I hope that he might be the reason we get our justice.
If we haven't ruled him out, then why aren't we?
When they reopened the investigation, I looked at it as that they were going to look at this case properly. I had hopes that they were, going to solve it properly.
We all refreshed on the case file. We looked at every person that was identified as a possible suspect in this case, and then we went forward.
Good morning, everyone.
Chief Dannels was very accessible. He held press conferences.
We've had 35 law enforcement officers working this case since January of 2010. We've worked steady.
He knew the importance of the media's involvement.
2020 had heard that there was a new police chief in town and that he was anxious to solve the case. In fact, he was willing to let us follow the investigation from the inside.
2020 will be present, and they'll be in with us.
Do you know exactly, Chief, where it was? Was it right by the telephone or in the street? Or where?
Right here on the street area. So whatever happened, it was obviously taken off her shoe by involuntarily.
The police chief told us he was looking into every possible theory, including one that was on the local rumor mill, that there were 2 men seen at a gas station very close to where Leah was last seen.
So the way I understand that rumor is that two men were probably drinking, that they had hit her, so they couldn't very well turn themselves in. And whether they panicked or just don't have a conscience or whatever, they dispose of the body and walk away from it.
And what about the rumor that's been out there that she was hit by a car? It was an accident.
Yeah, we've investigated that, and I do not believe she died as a result of being hit by a car.
You believe that it was murder?
Oh, absolutely.
No matter which way we went, at the end of the day, it came back to Nick McGuffin. When you put it all together, the totality of circumstances, it painted a picture that Nick McGuffin was directly responsible for the death of Leah Freeman.
I didn't see that when the case reopened that it would come back on me. I didn't see that coming.
This was not a case of DNA that connected Nick to the scene. We didn't have physical evidence. We had a shoe that was found in the vicinity where Leah was last seen with blood on it, which was her blood.
Investigators also take another look at Nick's Mustang to see if there was any evidence at all that Leah's body had been inside that car.
When Leah Freeman first went missing, when they did the search warrant on the Mustang several weeks later, the trunk was cleaned.
There was nothing in there, it had been wiped, there was just nothing there.
The police were trying to turn the heat up on Nick, so they even followed him to work and parked outside.
We're going to stop by Mr. McGuffin's residence and see if he's around.
When they reopened the case...
Hey, Chief. We're sitting on Nick's car over here at the mill.
They followed me everywhere I went. that's what they did.
It may have reached back to him by now.
We weren't trying to hide from Nick. We want to see what he was doing.
I think it is him.
Who was he talking to? Who was he going to visit? We want Nick to know, hey, Nick, listen, we're opening this up.
Being followed, having cameras on you. What it was an intimidation tactic to try to get me to react. I mean, I was always told to just keep my head held high, and I had people tell me, just wave at him. I mean, so I did that.
I don't think he was surprised to see us, and that's kind of the goal.
We had witnesses, many, many witnesses, and we developed more witnesses.
We'll go and recontact her.
We've interviewed over 100, almost 200 people in the last 6 months.
So did you guys confront her with what Nikki told you?
With all these witnesses coming forward, police say they're getting information that appears to contradict what Nick has said all along, that he had not seen Leah after he dropped her off at her girlfriend's house around 7 o'clock.
I basically drove everywhere for that 4 hours looking for her, and I didn't see her once.
We have several witnesses that actually placed Nick with Leah after 9 o'clock. If he's claiming he wasn't with her at after 9 o'clock, but we can show he was with her, what's he hiding?
But Police Chief Dannels' key witness would turn out to be somebody who came right out of the blue.
So on the night Leah went missing, Nick turned to a friend who offered him help. Fast forward 11 years, and she becomes one of his most damning witnesses.
He just tried to kiss me.
This guy tries to put a move on you.
He tried to have sex with me, and then I told him he had to stop.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.